What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another CWF Entertainment video. Now, this video is coming to you because I've been kind of lazy this week. I haven't been feeling amazing, so I decided to just take a break this week and not film CWF Live. So sorry about that, but that's why I'm bringing you this video, so we can at least have something on the channel for this week. So, yes, CWF Live will be coming out next week on Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. Be there, Eastern Time. I've been filming. It's going to be a banger episode, including Jon Moxley versus John Cena, which is going to be really interesting, building up to CWF Survivor Series. Pretty excited for that. But in today's video, we are taking a look at Matt Riddle. So when Matt Riddle came out a couple months back, this was pretty popular, you know. People wanted to get this figure, you know, it looked good from the promo images, but the one problem people had were the arms. Now, if you look at the picture that's on the screen now, the arms were way smaller than they should have been on the figure. Now, the problem for that was Mattel used these Kalisto arms. These arms are incredibly small. I mean, look at the size of them compared to my finger. Now, look at the size of a normal arm compared to my finger. A normal arm's almost the same size as my finger, and the Kalisto arm's not even half the size of my finger. So that's the problem they used on the Matt Riddle, is the arms were far too small, and it just looked a little wompy, and it didn't look very correct. So people were kind of angry when they had to take apart the figure and put it back on and like switch a bunch of parts, and there was the risk of obviously breaking the figure, and there's not a lot of these to go around. So I figured out a decent solution that you guys can use to properly fix up your elite Matt Riddle. So as you can see, I have taken off the vest, and the arms right now are about the proper length. You know, they look good, they look long enough, they can go actually down to his thighs, which is how arms are supposed to be. That's at least how my arms work. So this actually looks really good. So a lot of people have been asking me on Instagram what I used and how I did this, and so I thought it's probably a good idea just to explain it on YouTube so everybody could see it. So what I did was I took this old Bret Hart figure that I didn't use. He appeared in CWF Live a couple times, but the legends are gone for now. So Bret Hart, I took him and I took his arms out. Now, I took his arms out because I needed to use them for the Riddle, obviously, but something you need to know for the Riddle, you can't just put different arms on the pegs, because the Kalisto arm pegs are way too small to fit a big arm like this. So what you need to do, the figure that you're transferring, you need to crack their torso and take out the both ball joints that hold the arms, and you have to put them in this torso, which means you have to crack your brand new Matt Riddle, which is a little unfortunate, but it's not a big deal if you're careful. So I have some scarring, which I can obviously take away, but I think I did a pretty good job. So then you have to extremely carefully torso crack that. If you don't know how to torso crack, there's a lot of videos. I'll link one in the description to help you guys out. You guys got to be very, very careful when you do this, because you obviously don't want to break or mess up your figure. So you do the torso crack, and you put the ball joints in, and then you want to super glue the torso back together. Now, let me mind that the torso is going to be very loose when finished. You can stick some Mod Podge in there or some super glue. I have not gotten to that yet, but it's really not a big deal. The figure still articulates the same way it really would. So then, once you put the super glue on and you put the balls in there, you want to let that sit. You want to really crunch it in there and let it sit for a few minutes. And then once it's ready, you can heat it back up and you can put these arms in. And what the arms do is they just make it looks more natural. It looks a lot better than you would think, and it looks a lot better than the original form of the figure. But you gotta also make sure that it matches the skin tone. You know, you can't do some super white skin tone and expect it to match. So definitely that is something you have to keep in mind as well. But that's pretty much it, guys. That is how you properly make a fixed up Matt Riddle custom. If you guys want to make sure that your Riddle is looking good, if you want to have it in your Fed and don't want to have the little baby arms, these things suck. I don't think WWE should put that on any other figures except for like Rey Mysterio and Kalisto. They should not put it on a guy over 6 feet. It just doesn't make sense. So, without further ado, that is it for today's video. I'm sorry I'm not able to get CWF Live out, but I promise you it'll be out next week at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Peace out, guys. And bro.